Hey there, X Society. I'm a turtle, so it only seems natural that I talk about the bear, right? For X Society TV and movies. I want to do a deeper dive on this eventually, but I wanted to address season three of The Bear very quickly because it's something that I've seen people in our community post about before, talk about, and in general, it's gotten a lot of conversation, a lot of discussion about whether or not this is a good season. So I've seen most of the online discourse about The Bear season three be negative, both from critics, from fans, you name it. But I think that there's actually a lot of good things about this season that people might not appreciate. I binged this while I was really sick, like a week and a half ago. So I went season one to season two to season three, pretty much boom, boom, boom. So I did a mega binge on this one. And I think that some of the criticisms that I saw, particularly narrative issues in season three, were not as big an issue for me because I don't feel like I was waiting in the same sense. I think that there were a lot of people that felt like they were waiting. If they had ended season two, where Carmi is in the freezer, and then there's a bunch of unknowns about the relationship with Richie, the relationship between Carmi and Claire, what's going to happen with Sydney and Carmi. All of this, sets up a very, important opener to season three, which I think was a good episode. I think everyone enjoyed episode one of season three. But I think that as you get into season three, particularly with a show, I imagine the Bear, I don't know how many seasons they want to run, but let's say they have 4 to 5 seasons in mind. This third season, I almost view as kind of like a setup season in a way for their grand conclusion, whether it's season four, season five. I don't know how they want to end it, whether it's with Carmi having his own restaurant, Sydney having her own restaurant, or them both having, the stars together. I'm not sure where they're going to take it. But as a lot of people say, and what I'll say is true as well here, is The Bear is a character-driven show, not a narrative-driven show. So I feel like this has always been the case. So this has always been the case that I feel like, watching season three, what is people's problem with season three if you know it's a character-driven show, and really a lot of the, episodes deal with the characters kind of battling their own demons. Carmi has to move on from Claire in a way. Carmi has a lot of issues with control and abuse and trauma. And the way he's acting, frankly, I think a lot of it's rational. Rational in the sense of irrationality. Rational irrationality is what I like to say. If you haven't been through trauma to the extent that Carmi has, like with his family, it might be hard to relate to. But I mean, I can kind of look at everything Carmi's doing, and it's something I have to remind myself about. It's like, if I have my own vision and I'm too controlling about it, it can alienate other people. And that's like why the Bear is so important. I think people can connect with all of these characters. Or if Richie, you feel like you might get left behind and you make a change for yourself, and suddenly, you're in season three, you've developed the point in season three where seasons one and two are kind of like, your best friend died, you need to find direction in life, you don't know what it is, you get a reality check, you get serious about it, and now suddenly you're the general manager in season three. All these characters, their characters are still the same. I feel like, people like to say that they become caricatures of themselves or larger in life. Well, I think the characters are the same. They're just in the middle of more or less doing a startup business, which makes you literally, if you guys do your own business, if you guys make art, whatever it is, if there's something where you're the man or the woman of the show, and when we show, it can be business or a literal show, you have to become larger in life. You are part of it. It's different. And I don't think people fully understand that if they just work for a company, which is fine, by the way. There's nothing better or worse about working for yourself or working for a company or working, as part of performance. But I'm just saying it's different. So when people criticize it and say it's larger than life, well, yeah, I feel like Carmi is supposed to be larger in life. I feel like Richie is supposed to be larger in life. And I think also a lot of the things that feel like, spinning the wheels, let's say Sydney in the partnership agreement, that's good. I feel like Sydney should be evaluating whether or not this is the right decision for her. Like real talk, the right decision for her probably is to take the offer from Carmi's friend, the Irish chef, who wants her to more or less, manage manage the kitchen for him, and it would provide her with like what $80,000 in base compensation plus an equity stake in it. It was a lot better offer, it sounded like. Now I understand, Sydney, if she thinks that, working with Carmi here and launching this restaurant, it could be, even though she might not get paid as much up front, I understand as well with Carmi, it's not just about owing it to Carmi. It's if you pull this off and you go sky high. And she already is sky high in a way because she decided to take that initial risk with Carmi and the restaurant open at all. Now she's getting these opportunities. So she is struggling with whether or not to sign this partnership agreement. And is she being ungrateful? No, she's not being ungrateful at all. In fact, it's very, very clear that she has legitimate concerns here that Carmi, Natalie, and the rest have failed to completely address. Now, there's so much more to season 3, but I just want to give a few examples like that and go into some of the characterization because I think that people sometimes, they want the bear to be what the bear is to them. And the problem is, I think that the bear needed to have this sort of season. And, I'm going to judge it as being what it was, which is fine. I didn't think the bear season 3 was bad. I really didn't. Anyway, guys, this is Misha from Turtle TV. We out.